It's 1 p.m. The charges are in place. It's time to blast.
Okay, so we'll blast this one, and the geotechs shut the pit for us for a couple of hours, and they'll monitor their radars, and we'll see if the walls are starting to move and if everything's safe.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
We have 3 radars which we set up around the pit. These can read rock movements to 0.1 of a millimeter from 1,000 meters away. So my geotechnical engineers, they read these radar images.
Basically look at any movement that the radar might be picking up along our pit wall. They shoot out the radar beam, which reflects off the rock surface, comes back and gives us a time and distance measurement. If the measurement's different from its previous measurement, it'll depict that it's movement and send the information back to us, and we can pick up the slightest movements.
Calculate whether or not the wall's moving too quickly, and if it is, we get alarms and we pull people out from underneath there to ensure the safety of the people.
Once the geotechs have deemed it as safe as possible, they'll open the pit to production. Production will come in, sort of dig the heave off, which is all the broken rock on top of the shot, and then start mining it.
It's crushed in the primary crusher, which is in the pit, about 1.5 kilometres from the concentrator. It is then transported by overland conveyor to a stacking conveyor. It's taken from there into the 2 32-foot autogenous mills, where it is ground.
We then run it over magnetic separation, and we crush it and grind it, take it down in size, and then we can just separate it off with magnets because it's a really highly magnetic ore.
Basically from there, it's a separation process of good product, if you like, from waste or gang.
So we're not using all those nasty chemicals that some other processes have to use to float off the mineral.
"80-odd kilometres north, back at the port, the ship has finally arrived.
Well, we're on our way out to pick up the Atalanta, and she's coming in here. She seems to be right on time, and we're going to load about 80,000 tonnes of pellets on it. This ship is what they call a Panamax, and it's the biggest size that can go through the Panama Canal.
Bob Close has been a marine pilot for decades. Tonight, It's his job to bring the Atalanta into berth. It may look like a simple task, but he knows that slow and steady wins the race.
Once I get on board, the captain and I will have an exchange of information, and once we've done that, I'll proceed in. I'll tell him exactly what I'm going to do. Because I take over from the captain, and he's still in command, but I just get control of the ship. Coming in, we have to be watching things all the time. The ship is going to my directions, but the captain can take over at any time if he feels it's necessary.
We're given a certain amount of time or a lay-cam period for the ships to arrive. We can't control the weather. It's weather dependent all the time. We're sheltered somewhat by the nut fairly well from the western side. Strong easterly winds are our biggest issue for berthing, I guess.
Here, the conditions have got to be right for us to bring the ship in. For instance, we won't bring it in if we've got 30 knots easterly. The pilot is required to be on board all times because the weather can change very quickly here, and we might have to take the ship off the berth. And that's happened on many occasions.
Line boats head out, they'll have a crew, one line boat will take a pilot and he'll bring the ship in. The two line boats will come either side, there'll be a tug there to assist any pushing.
We're on one of the line boats and we've just tied the line off to buoy number 4. Our line comes from the stern of the ship to this buoy, and this line will hold the ship out from the structure. The pilot will give us an instruction in a minute to tell us which lines to go next, and when we get that instruction we'll go and do that.
And they'll anchor just off the end of the jetty and tie up to the big buoys. The ship actually floats. It doesn't tie up solid, it just sits there and the ship loaders go in and out. And they'll move over the hatches and feed the ship.